First of all, thank you to my PFP partners, all my partners. I got divorced after 3 months. Did nothing wrong. I felt a bit sad when Nikki emailed me about the celebration tonight. I said, I'm not going to be there tonight, you know. I felt a bit sad, but I thought, but I've been with everybody for the past year. I went through all the workshops with you guys. I did most of the copes with you guys as well. And I developed some good friendships amongst many of you. When I had a post available last week, I phoned Claudine, I saw this lady was at your school. And tell me about her, please. The brutal truth, not anything coating it or anything, because I want the best for my school. The best person in that post as well. And then I got the honest truth from Claudine, and I thought to myself, yeah, thank you so much. I could have been in deep trouble next term. So thank you for that, colleagues. I went to Atti van Wyk. I thought my school was a struggling school in the township area. I've got 1,300 learners, 50 staff members, and I thought to myself, oh, we got it tough in Mandalay Primary School. But I went to Atti van Wyk and I had to jump over puddles to get to the classes. I thought to myself, wow, my learners are in a safe environment. They dry, no broken windows, nothing. School is quite clean. Atti van Wyk, they're sitting in these mobile units, and I know I've got one at school. In winter, it's like a freezer. In summer, like an oven. So I had new respect for other schools in other areas that I've never knew, went through so many things, you know. I've been to schools in this side, all the fancy schools, and I thought to myself, wow, I want to be like them. You know, I want to have, not be like them, but I want to have those things at my school. But when I went to Atti van Wyk, I said, oh, thank you, I've got what I have at my school. Yes, with no partner to partner with and to have a sounding board with, I always took what I've learned at the workshops back to school. And what I've learned every time I implement it at school as well. When you become principal, you go on a 2-day course, how to be a principal. 2 days, WCD, send you on off there. You come back, you must now be the principal of a school. I haven't learned skills at that workshop. I've been to PFP for the past year. I've been to the 3 workshops and I've learned a lot of skills there. Tools that I can use at school on a daily basis. I've got 2 sons studying at university. I've even used my skills on them as well because they're moody sometimes, you know. So at home it helped me as well with my 2 boys. But at school is where I use it the most. First thing I did was I implemented after we had a community of practice. I asked the civic association in the area if I can join the meetings basically. When they have meetings once a month, I offer my school hall to them. You can have it here free of charge, blah, blah. You can to build that community relationship between me and the schools. The previous principal, he had nothing to do with the community. The school was just there. Come to school, you leave. I said, no, that can't be. The school is the center of the community, basically. It's the hub where parents come for help as well. Open up the school for the meetings. I had my first meeting last year with the community. I had a lot of problems. And then, November month last year, a parent dumped some rubbish over the fence from their side. They chopped a tree down in my schoolyard. And I went to ask and I said to remove it. No, I don't want to. I just picked up the phone for one of my community members after half a day it was cleared. You know, so you have to build that trust with the community as well. Give them something and take something from them as well. Holidays, when I go on holiday, or weekends, they look after the school. They phone me, sir, somebody's in school at the moment, must somebody be there? I say, yes, no, somebody must be there now for a workshop or whatever. So they're looking after the school at the moment because I'm giving them the whole, I'm part of the community basically. So I've learned that from community practice. Time to think. There I learn from my learners first. I have difficult learners at my school, a few of them. But I've learned not to be harsh with them. I call them into my office. I give them a cup of tea. They say, a cup of tea, sir, or a cool drink sometimes. We sit down and they say, now talk. What is your problem? What is bothering you? And 9 of 10 cases, those kids come from homes where they don't get to hear from anybody there. They are abused, they are being neglected. They come from single parent families. They come from families where the grandmother raised them, basically, you know. The one child was a problem in class, disruptive. I had him in my office, we had a long chat, and I listened to what he had to say. The bottom line was his dad is in Cape Town, but I don't want to see him. He's got another family. He's now becoming a teenager and he's thinking now, what about me? Aren't I good enough to be a son to you? And I phoned the father and I spoke to him, not as the principal, but as a father to a father. And they had the son over at his place for the holidays. It was last year, September. And that child has changed drastically. He's at high school now, basically, this year. But the change that took basically a month for him to change after he met his father. No more answers in class, did all his schoolwork, etc. And his father's still involved in his life. And I wouldn't have had that skill to do that if it weren't for partners, for possibilities, the thinking skills and the listening skill as well. With my parents, my staff members, I do one-on-one sessions with them now. They all get a time slot during the week. Then I send my librarian to the class for that half an hour. Office, close the door, we chat. Not about school, but their personal lives. So I want to know, why is this teacher late in my school certain mornings? Why are you absent on those days? Just chat about things. They actually got a fright. I'll call them to talk about their personal life and not about schoolwork. So it was a shocker for them at first. And the first couple of teachers weren't it easy about it. They were uneasy because, they're spilling their personal life to me, basically. Can I trust a principal or not? After about 2 weeks, nobody spoke about their business to them or anybody else, so that, oh no, we can trust our principal. So by just listening to them, I could actually realize, but why that teacher were absent that day? You know, what happened in the life, in the personal life, in the personal space before she came to school or she went to school the next day. So yes, listening is very, very important, believe me. And to PFP, thank you so much for all those skills. Even I've got a new, I started off the detention last year, DT for my kids on a Friday afternoon, and for the special cases on a Saturday, work in the garden. They love that, so it's not actually detention for them on a Saturday morning. But the DT have dropped quite substantially from 30 learners to about 10 learners. Foundation phase from about 12 to about 3 learners a week now. Because we've got a new thing going at school, we call it the buddy system, where we identify those learners in the classes that got behavioral problems throughout all the teachers that comes to them. There's about 1 or 2, perhaps in a class or in a grade, about 4. And we've gave them a buddy basically at school, a teacher. Someone they can talk to, not in their grade, in a different grade. So if you are disruptive in class, interval you go to Miss X to have a chat with her, you know. And by doing that, we've gained the kids' trust. They know if they misbehave, they're going to have to report to the buddy teacher now. So also listening skills were imparted to my teachers there. They have to listen to the kids, listen, take note, and see where we can help our learners. So yes, I've learned a lot. The skills you gave me, PFP, is priceless really. And didn't pay a cent for those workshops, can you believe it? So thank you so much to Louise and to Nikki as well. She tried to salvage the marriage counselor, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But yes, I enjoyed every minute of this process. And sometimes, like my colleague said over there, I can't get my names. Anthea said, we missed here and there cope, yes, but because of our commitments as well at school. But after a cope meeting, you feel so relaxed. Am I right, Loretta?
Oh yes, I never missed one.
Yes, she never missed one. And I remember the cope we had in Grassy Park. She came there to Mr. Samoudin's school. She came in there. This is my first time on the side of the world. So proud, she'd driven from Durbanville to Grassy Park without getting lost.
Latest drama afterwards.
After years. So we've seen new places as well, Loretta, with PFP, yes, and met many people as well. And Louise, Mr. Saboni was my teacher. Can you believe it? He was my teacher. I was at Canamere Primary. Whenever I go there, I must take a picture with him because he always say, no, this is one of my ex-learners. So yes, he's doing wonderful work there, ma'am, and I think it's because of you, because he told me that before PFP he was like a loose piece of wood. I had wood at tall boss in the wind, blowing around, getting direction all over. And then you came along, and with your help and your support, he found direction at his school basically. And I think we all need that. And I would even enjoy it if I get another partner sometime, Nikki, please. If you get one for me again, one with stamina, please. Staying power, please. Send it to me. I'll be glad to do the whole process over again with anybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.